Hi guys, welcome back to my build of the studio scale replica Millennium Falcon. Today I thought, as I said, I'd just go over a few, or just a walk around of the top surface of the model. Just go over a few details, show you what I've been doing. Yeah, just a general talk of the top surface. So first up, this section here, pretty much finished up, just needs a bit of chipping to do. Chipping is pretty much, where are we, this kind of thing here, just little bits of styrene, adds relief detail. You can see it under here on this pipe which I've just installed, but yeah, there's generally a lot more chipping around on the surface. So yeah, really happy with how the plating turned out on here, and empty another bag of collected model bits and stuck on, which is really cool. This piece here, I've wanted to attach that for so many years. It's just sat in a bag waiting to be attached, and it's finally on there. That actually comes from a Tamiya 1.6 CB 750 racing motorbike model kit. Yeah, really happy to see that finally down there. It's looking good. Yeah, so don't know if you can see into the pit there. Through here there's a big beam which comes from the American La France fire chief from AMT, and that was actually spliced together from two parts of the ladders. It wasn't one ladder as I thought, but it was actually two. Actually, I say ladder, it's part of the framing, I think, which held the ladders. But yeah, that was a real challenge to get in there and line up with all the chips on the side there. But yeah, got it done. Really happy with that. So a few of you may know I've got the docking ring on. That's looking good, and I've started plating around there and adding a few of the detail parts. Next up, I think I'm going to add the side walls. So I'll start with a piece of styrene like this, and that just fits in there like that. All this edge here is damaged, blast damage, because this side took a big laser hit. So you can see under there, all that work in there is dremeled out or moto tooled with styrene plating over it and ground away. But yeah, all this side here, there's major damage which I've yet to do. I'll probably do that next. So speaking of damage, if you come over here on the starboard front side, I've managed to get this huge laser blast, all this damage done, and the piping added. So pretty much again, it's grinding away the black ABS hull that I used with a moto tool, getting all the damage through there, adding a very thin styrene sheet over that damage, and then pushing that, or heating it and pushing it down into all the damage, and then further adding the top styrene panel which had all the shape of the major damage already cut out of it. Put that down, and then it's embellished more with a moto tool to add even sort of blending it in and adding more damage. I've still got to put some damage through into there. So yeah, it's like a major hit that it took through into there and came out up there. I think a bit more embellishment and I'll have it looking the way I really want it. So happy with that. I did plan initially to have the mandibles removable, which are these big fellas, but it's just not possible because these parts need to sit down glued to the hull and to the mandible, so they essentially lock in the mandible to the hull, which that's okay. I was happy with that, but it just wasn't feasible to have them removable. Yeah, so they were quite a challenge to sit down to the hull. I got there in the end, just cutting little bits away here and there and making them fit. So yeah, that's all pretty much wrapped up. Again, there's still lots more chipping to do on this surface and also on the radar quarter as well. Yeah, so this damage here that I did quite a few months back, I'll embellish that further because I've how would I say, honed my skills, I guess, on doing this damage here. And there's one section underneath which I hadn't finished yet. I'll just see if I can get under there. So if you look under the model, you can see all this section there. There's a huge blast streak that runs through there, and because I'm more confident now with the how the damage process works, that won't be a problem for me now, so I'll get that done. But yeah, while we're here at the back, you can see the bare wood in there. This is the rear of the ship. All that will be hacked out, moto tooled out, and a big space in there will be for the LED strip lighting. It's pretty much how ILM modelers did it. They had a solid wall there from a plywood hull that they made, or the core, and they also hacked out all this and added the space for the, I believe it was halogen lights, but I'm not going halogen, I'm going LED strips, so new technology. So under the engine deck, all this engine deck will be removable. So underneath I can get to the lighting and the power supply. Eventually this will be screwed down to the hull to keep it tight. So yeah, so obviously this quarter over here is still to do. That's another triangular pit shape, and a plate goes in there similar to like over there, and that actually, the detail plate is used, I believe, 4 or 5 times on the Falcon. So it goes into here. There's a section of it that goes under that, underneath in here where that big blast streak is, and in the jaw boxes, which are these fellas here. So in between, I can't get in there. Yeah, in the jaws, top and bottom, top, bottom, and they go into there. Yeah, so there's a lot getting there. I like working around the ship. I don't like being tied to one area for long. I think as you saw in my last video, this was all started cardboard templating, and I'd left it to work on that damage over there. So I'm all over the place. I can't say I don't plan. I do plan, but I sort of I sort of do bits and pieces all over the place to keep the momentum up, and just what I feel like at the time. So I pretty much did all this engine deck in one hit. That's fairly complete. All this, what we call the exhaust strip, this will be, there's 13 petals of styrene that go on there, and they're further embellished with cutouts and detail parts. So yeah, all in all, getting there. I love this engine deck. It's just so incredible, the details that ILM put into it. It's just amazing. Real jigsaw of kit parts, shame to cover it up in paint really, but there you go. One day soon it's going to be all covered in black primer, and then the top coat, reefer white, and then the myriad of colours and weathering and everything. So yeah. I will say, this McLaren tub, I did cheat because I had a few spares. So I made like a template and then copied it and then cut these out to pretty much get a perfect fit. Yeah, I like to do that if I have spare parts or parts of major subsections. I like to template using those, rather than if you've only got, say, one of these and then you cut it wrong, you're stuffed. So yeah, had a few of those. Yeah, still got to attach the make the cockpit, attach the cockpit cone, and detail all this strip with the vintage cool shade, which I've cut out. And there's lots of detailing that goes under there, which are all in a bag ready to go. So yeah, yeah, the gun turrets, these are removable, as you know, and I'll have those attached via magnets, so I can make those removable. One thing I'm really happy with, I'll just put this down over here, is my design. When I design the thing, or the inner core, it's like a sandwich. So basically, if you think like a hamburger, my inner core is like the meat. This is a meat patty in here, and it's hollow in there with a few ribs and things like that, and it's essentially hollow in here. So this is the meat, and these are the buns. So there's a top and bottom bun. So when I want to put in, say, these pits, which I made flat on flat sheets of styrene, they essentially sit dead flat, so under here, and I just elevate them with the necessary blocks of wood or whatever, and then they're just simply glued in place. If I didn't have that and it was hollow inside, I think it'd be more of a nightmare. So I'm quite, well, very happy with how I designed the interior. And I had to how do I put it, these pits, there's ribs that go through back here, and they stop short, so I had to think about where the pits would sit. So these ribs that would run there, these things, I had to stop short. So that pit over there, the radar pit, it all stops somewhere around there, because if I forgot that and carried it all the way through, that would just be a nightmare. I'd have to hack out the MDF ribs, which, yeah, I did think of that previously. So yeah, very thankful. Yeah, looking forward to getting this done. So obviously I can't attach the other docking ring as yet, because the model will have to be slipped off its engine stand and reinserted from this side, and then I can get the other docking ring on. But yeah, getting there. So yes, very happy. So I hope you enjoyed this little video, guys. Again, any questions, feel free to ask, and see you next time. Cheers.